refuses to come to that, but when it is time for internal assessment, it's ready to give you. When it's time for exams, it's ready to come and then examine you. You can together mobilize yourself and say that we are not writing this exam stream or this AI stream. And that is period. Okay. The first principle of nonviolent action is that of non-cooperation with every related. Okay. Oh, that is said by Caesar. So there are, as I said, there are several forms classified. We have the protests, we have the marches, we have the rallies, public speeches, signing petitions, and public statements. Of course, we have the badges and then display of communication. And this comes in several forms as well. One of the social boycott, right? And I believe you know what social boycott is. Do you know what social boycott is? Sorry? Anybody can tell us what social boycott is? So we are supposed to go to work, right? And then based on the humiliation being orchestrated by the head of that department or the organization decided on we are not going to work. I think this happened, is it with GFPC or something of the sort, where the STC, recently with the STC, where the worker said that we don't want any new deputy manager. If we are bringing a new deputy manager, they have to go to work, and they didn't go to work. So that's the social work, making sure that the right thing is done. In this hard economy, we want to add more managers to the organization. Meanwhile, you are not paying the workers then. So they decided not to encourage that, and that was that. Another example happens when it comes to the social worker and the state and progress, as I said. Some of them we said that okay, we go to work, but we are not going to work. Others say that they will not go to work. That's social worker. And then we have the economic aspect, which has to do with instead of purchasing in particular, we are not going to do that. For example, maybe a bank CEO has engaged in an activity that is against a particular group of people. So some people can mobilize themselves and say that okay, we are not going to, or we are going to withdraw all of our cash from that very bank. We are not going to buy this and that from this very organization. That is the economic aspect of the consumer policy. So again, let's take a look at the withdrawal of bank deposit. Then we have the political one. So again, for example, okay, I think some time ago we had, was it 2020 or 2021, when the budget was ready, that the voter region where it included the entire voter region where it included in the budget. So they can decide that okay, since we are not included, we are going to boycott the upcoming election, right? It's in their right? Again, simple to do. So this is the picture of the country protest. I think the first one is the digital one. This is actually the ground one. Now, there are several of them, as I said, the method of nonviolent intervention. The first one was the action. This one is the intervention, the physical, the social, the economic reform. One has to be simply, then alternative communication systems. If you want the slides, because of that. So we are coming to the principles and the philosophies of nonviolent protest or activism or advocacy, right? So we are using the first one, the first principle of philosophy. You have to do the 6 principles of philosophy of value. And when you head out of anywhere you head out of the word here is simply referring to Martin Luther King principle of philosophy. Are we together? You know, he's one of the icons when it comes to protest and demonstration. And the principle here is that first, one can resist evil without resorting to violence. And you know what happened, right? He was very proud. He was a pastor, so of course you can understand that. They said that you have to resist evil, but you yourself must not engage in the evil yourself, right? So the school I attended was a boys' school anyway, and the motto of the boys' school or the school is conquer evil by doing good. Vishe evil no back, which means that is a Latin word which means conquer the evil by doing good. So you don't necessarily have to conquer the evil by doing evil. You have to conquer the evil by doing good. Are we together? So that's the first principle initiated by Martin Luther King Jr. Then the second one is nonviolence seeks to bring friendship and understanding of the other and not to humiliate them. So you engage in communication, okay? You make sure that the people understand that what they are doing is an evil, okay? And then you judge your and it comes to the same understanding. Because sometimes the oppressor is not aware that what he's doing is evil, simply because of the environment and how the person was brought up. Sometimes culture, okay, until recently we never knew that human sacrifice to the gods were evil doing. Until recently, after having some time that the colonization happened and so on and so forth. So it's kind of very important for us to know that the second approach is for you to make sure that understanding is brought to the table. So don't go in with violence based on Martin Luther's principle. The third one is evil itself is not a people community, just like I said earlier. But the act itself is what has to be attacked and not the people committing it. Okay, the act itself. The fourth one is those committed to non-violence must be willing to suffer. So you saw Martin Luther King suffer. In fact, he did not only suffer, he died. So you have to be willing to die for something. Are you willing to die for something? My eldest student say that we don't live for something, we die for something. And those who are happy and those who are celebrating are not those who live for something, they are those who die for something. And today, though Martin died very not too young, but young, it's celebrated across the world. Though Martin Luther died, and today someone can celebrate it, right? It was, and fortunately, even his own political actors in the same political arena are condemning his statement. Okay, so that tells you how much important those who die for an idea are. Okay, the fifth one, non-violent resistance avoid external physical violence. Then the sixth one, the non-violent resistor must have a deep faith in the future. So we are saying that just like we said earlier, you are not you are a firstborn, you are a generational firstborn. So you are not fighting for yourself only, you are fighting for the future, for the betterment of the future. Okay. How you move on to the next? Yeah. This is one of my favorite. So this is the certificate principle and philosophy, which is gotten from the almost everywhere popular Mahatma Gandhi, right? And then we have this principle also almost similar to that Martin. Okay, right? So you can have that. He said that for you to be a Satygraha, you should have a little faith in God, or He is the only rock that you can stand on. Okay, then we have the next continuing. One must carry out with a willing hand all the rules of discipline. So, in essence, he also encourages non-violence protests. Okay, can we move on? So, this is our engagement, the Ghana Youth Manifesto, our engagement with the NDC Manifesto Committee somewhere last month. Let's move on. So this is our engagement with the PPP, the Progressive People's Party. So we decided not to use a ballot, we decided not to use what's the name? A street protest, but design a document, a policy to influence their manifesto policies. So in all this, you need a team. You have to be working with a team, and then, as you said, there should be an understanding first with the team that you are working with. Then you can progress to the oppressor or the people you want to be with. Can you involved with? This is as an area that's important. The MVP. So the foundational theories of the environment. Theory number one has to do with the theory of power. Okay, this theory of power, which came from Sharp, understand that in all perspectives, power does not necessarily lie with an individual. Okay, power comes from the knowledge of people. And when those people come together to initiate an action, they can, no matter how powerful the person in power is, they can influence that person to have their views coming together. So that is the first theory of non-violent action. The second one has to do with the pragmatic. I'll give out the slide. So that's what the third one has to do with the theory of people. So this is the sum. Now on the just want to give us some examples of the of the protest or demonstration or activity. Right? So we have I'm definitely initiating the protest. It's almost about in 4 days work non-stop. They call the soft march. The soft march. So they fight for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Up to 4 days. And it simply has to do with the UK government or the British government saying that they are taxing the Indian over their own soil. Excess taxing. And then that said that our foundational faith is in God. But we are going to physically without destroying any part of our country. So what they are going to do is to advocate for things on top. And they did that. And that's what led to the independence of the Indian. So this also has to do with the national civic, where in the southern part of the United States of America, during those days, in the 1960s, the black Americans or the black people are not allowed to go and have lunch or dinner at a restaurant. So they are considered inferior. So what happened was that these guys mobilized themselves and went in there, have a seat in Cuba. They said like don't serve us food today. Nobody is going to eat today. So throughout the almost like 24 hours, nobody was eating and nobody was serving until they were served. And this is one of the chief factors that spread across the entire United States. These also have to do with the Philippines, okay, where again, just like I'm telling you, each came in favor of the president power. So the Filipinos also decided that we are going to mobilize ourselves for the authoritarian, the gentleman in power to move out of the seat and then became for democracy to stand. So they did that and functioning the gentleman who was in power by then how to vacate the seat. But they have to run away from the cabinet and sit as the so the success of that is because it's not the popular one, obviously. That now South Africa has to go out on the street, and that is one of the activities that we celebrate with the African campaign, where young people are shot simply because they are not for a proper education system. Because in South Africa, by then, the whites are educated separately from the blacks. And even today, there are certain people in South Africa that blacks are not allowed to get there. Certain sports that blacks are not allowed to get there. But this guy fought out on the street and fought with the protest. Okay, don't forget non-violent protest. That's the one. Of course, you know what happened in one style situation where he decided to manipulate the constitution to move it into another thing. And then the people said that this is not going to happen. But then, of course, we saw that he had to move back with the situation, and then the country came up with this. Moving still with the Democratic Party. Madagascar has got witnessed similar situations. We saw the NSAS in Nigeria, which led to a lot of bloodshed. The next one, all popular Kenya protests, which happened recently. So therefore, I asked the question, who decides what the valid protest? Is it the oppressor or the oppressor? I think it's up to have an answer. Okay. Who decided? Who decided? Who decided what a valid protest and what is valid protest? There is no problem or right answer. Who decides that?
Thank you. So, I think oppression, the one about it. Now, why do I say that? I say that because you see whether this oppression, the violence that they are about to practice, whether it affects life and property, whether the state accept that it was affected, you think those things are going to affect them. If, for example, the scenario is about 10 people were not going to do anything, okay, but at the end, you end up affecting activities that will build up economic development. So, in that sense, it becomes about and it will affect the development.
Thank you so much. Anyone else? Yes, sir.
So I'm just let me use this scenario. So I love Bollywood movies so much. So I was watching this Bollywood movie just yesterday, and there is this guy who felt the leadership of that night was not doing much for the country, and so he will hijack like a train or a plane, and then put a call to whoever is in charge of a particular sector, and then demand that even if it's a hospital, like about 400 hospitals, furnish the place. And then this guy was being hunted just because they felt he was against the government. And then he will hijack a train and call like the Minister of Agriculture to pay the debt of the people, a whole lot of stuff just to put this in order. Now, like you are asking, so who determines? Now, in this scenario, at a point, the oppressor determines whether it is violent or non-violent, and the oppressor also determines because I see it this way. If you are the oppressor, I am coming. In your mind, you don't know what is my next move. So you can decide to think, oh, this guy is coming in a violent way. I am coming like he was giving the scenario in the one you were talking about from 37. You didn't have any bad intention and you didn't want to destroy anything. But as to the why were you stopped from entering the how do you call it, the presidential palace? Because they don't know your next move. So it is a two-way affair. You are determined, you are in a position to determine whether it is violent. And the same way, the president is also in a position to determine whether it is violent or violent.
Thank you so much. So once again, great answers. Thank you so much. Once again, protests and the demonstration are fundamental human rights. They must not be given by somebody else, must not be dictated by anyone else. So it's oppressed. You see, if who determines a violent protest or peaceful protest, the hands of the oppressor is always going to find an excuse to to oppress the more, and for you not speaking out of your frustration. So a peaceful protest must always be determined by the intention of the person who is protesting. You, the victim, must determine that. So we are going. So, for example, the 1948 riot was orchestrated by a peaceful protest, but then there was violence at the end. So are we going to say that that was a violent protest? Of course not. But the intention of the protesters was simple: that we are going to demand that without any weapon, we are going to demand our salary. That's all. The soft work, we saw that. So it is always at you that one going to protest to make sure that the initiative that you are taking, you are dealt with a clear mind and then with a peaceful mind. But of course, sometimes the political parties, especially the people in power, find a way to push in laws into you that at the end of the day, some people will cause the protest to become stable, that is no more peaceful. So again, to emphasize, peaceful protest, okay, gives you result. It gives you great result. When we saw what happened in the protest, we get current results. I think almost all the government machinery of Abuto has been collapsed. It sacked all its ministers, and now considering having a new government with the lesser ministers in government. So I just want to emphasize that this result and this result.
This is not our best. This is our little. Thank you very much. Mr. Christopher Penn is the coordinator of the Ghana Youth Manifesto. So at this point, we will ask if anybody have a question for Mr. Penn. We will quickly address it. I have my question, and I'm going to relax that for the last one. So please, if you have any question for Mr. Penn, just put up your hand. I'll bring it up to you. Then Mr. Penn will answer the question. Then we'll go on to the next question. Okay, so Joshua will be taking the mic out. Please, if you have any question, up your hands. We have only 2 minutes for this. 2 minutes. Question. Okay, so let's do it like this. This side you have to come. The middle take one. Last take one. So please, the volunteer from this side. I don't mention names. You don't do the names. I don't mention names. So please, question. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the wonderful presentation. My question is, we have seen a lot of change makers and freedom fighters in time past and even in present times. Will you agree with me that in some circumstances, non-violent protest does not lead to the right result? And will you also suggest that I think that we have this popular saying that the only language our leaders understand, or the only language that a parent or a mother understands, is when the child starts crying. Sometimes you have to use force when persuasion fails. Will you say that even when I am dying, like in the situation that we have found ourselves in now, will you say that we should go always peaceful when we are not achieving the result? Thank you.
Okay, so Mr. When you take all the 3 questions, or if there are more, take all the questions so that you address them. Then we'll go to the next one. Grace, you have a question? Please.
So questions, if there are no questions, then Mr. Bennett should address this. Okay, so
Thank you. So, per your discussion or conversation, you made us understand that peaceful demonstration, violence or non-violence get resolved. That is in other countries. Now, my question is, why is that in Ghana here to be specific, 70 to 80% of either peaceful or violent demonstrations doesn't get results. What's so unique from Ghana to other countries in terms of our leaders? Thank you.
thank you very much. So I think in a way to make it 10. Question. So in a way to make the question just sum up to 3, I'll add 9 to 5. Okay, so Mr. Benu, my question is about the fact that I think if you speak to any average African youth, it looks as though the impression is created that democracy is not our thing. And this issue of non-violent, okay, peaceful protest seems to be attribute of democracy. My question now to you, how do we, the youth, build trust in this whole system of democracy? Because we have felt that in our life, in our short lifetime, we've seen this fail us a lot of times. Thank you.
Right, thank you so much. Right, so building trust. You have to start from yourself. You don't trust yourself, you can't trust anybody else. If you don't trust God, you can't trust anybody else. So that's why from the start, I was because I do a lot of leadership training, also do one-on-one leadership, mentorship for both adults and younger people as well. But one of my biggest challenges we have to be the fact that most of us believe that we have been created and designed to come get the nicest of the dogs and make money at the end of the day. But then we have to come again and understand, like the example I gave, the phone was manufactured to solve a problem. And it's solving it without human. The sun is doing same. But you see, when the sun has been positioned to be, that's where it is. Where the moon has been positioned, that's where it is. You have been designed, wired, created, manufactured to solve a problem. And you see, you've been born in Africa, you've been born in Ghana, you've been born in that community. It's not an accident and it's not a mistake. You have been designed and wired and located over there because there's a pattern environment that your manufacturer has identified and designed you to be the solution of that problem. And he made you to solve that problem. So you've been born there, it's not an accident. You've been born in that problem, it's not an accident. What is left for you is for you to discover your purpose, your potentials. What are the abilities that you have able to solve the problems in that problem? You see, because we are able to do this, we are pursuing things which are not meant for us. We are pursuing things that are very perishable. That's the first one. With respect to, so you have to first of all be in alignment with yourself, discover yourself, trust yourself, trust the society you find yourself in. Because if you don't start trusting people, other people will also don't trust you. Because the society we are in is a reflection of us. The man is a mirror, right? The man standing in front of the mirror. So, assuming this is a mirror, and I'm standing in front of the mirror, if there is anything wrong in the man standing in front of the mirror, what do I have to do? I have to check the man in the mirror. I have to check the man in front of the mirror. Because if there is any touch that you have to, especially the ladies, right? If you go to the mirror, do you polish the woman in the mirror? Do you polish the woman in the mirror when you are polishing the face? The ladies answer me now. If you want to do your pancake, you polish the woman in the mirror. You don't try. You polish the woman standing in front of the mirror. So our society is a reflection. So if there is any trust that we want to start initiating, we have to start with ourselves. By first of all, finding our alignment one, and then initiating process to trusting people two, and then initiating process to trust our community three, and then making every effort. Because the more effort you are making, the more you inspire others to begin to trust you. The more you inspire others to make sure that they also, because there are thousands of people who are waiting for the success of your story so that they can also take a step. So if you fail your generation, it means you are killing thousands of dreams, you are killing thousands of ideas, you are killing thousands of dreams that will come out. Because they are not just having people, but nations, because others must depend on your story for their success. That's the first one. And I believe I'm very necessary. The second one, sorry, can you remind me of the first?
So my question is, like the example you give is other prediction, other people of violent organization.
It's almost similar to that thing.
So my question is, why is it that in Ghana, Ghana to be specific, as 80% of our administration doesn't get it?
Yeah, because 90% of our administration doesn't get it because it's not consistent. Consistency is key. We just saw an example of course the salt match, right? So can you imagine 24 days non-stop, including the night, 24 days non-stop. And it's in tandem to this, to the fact that you see, when you are very persistent, when the baby keeps crying, no matter how deep the wound is asleep, she'll wake up. Don't stop. No, you see, it has birth result. Africans were interconnected. It has birth result. You see, when you initiate a violent act, you are giving the world a chance to support your oppressor. And you are not going to get results. And that is why, that's why, based on research, okay, of 53% of peaceful and non-violent protests give results. And only about 23% and less gave results. And those results, they are not sustainable. So for you to have a sustainable result, you have to keep crying. And you crying is not a means of violence, it's not violence. It means you are making the oppressor uncomfortable. You are crying. So the protest on the street, if it is consistent, you are making him or her uncomfortable. So he or her have no other choice than to pay heed to your cry. Which has been answered. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. We have another question, and so we'll take that briefly, and then we will proceed to the next item.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. This is Bashir. My question is just in attachment to his question, actually. He was asking the reason why such demonstration could not be successful here. So, and you said there's a lack of consistency, which is still not enough, I think. So, persistence, okay. So, my question is to you is that what is the reason behind all like happening exactly in African continent, specifically in some of the countries here? What's the reason behind that? And the second question is, do you think if you keep crying, with the consistency, like you keep doing it every day, all time. Meanwhile, you are not able to change yourself, or your mind basically in change. You are not willing to change yourself, and you are also expecting somebody to change himself to come and solve your problem. Do you think that pride and the consistency will take place and bring the success on table for all of us? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Right, thank you so much. To start from the second question, again, in our theory of leadership, we believe that there is two classes of leadership, right? Social leadership and personal leadership. When it comes to personal leadership, then you don't have responsibility towards himself. But you see, when it comes to the social leadership, it's kind of crucial for us to understand that irrespective of whatever the person, the individual has not to your faith, you have been given power. The person knows that he has given you the power. Collectively, that's why we look at the issue of power. Okay, that's the first theory. Okay, the issue of power comes into play where because the person has entrusted you with his right, with his resources, with his money, with his time and everything. So you have a greater responsibility that either the person is right or wrong for you to initiate action to the benefit of the person. So people in power must at all time and at all time consciously make sure that whatever action they take is in the benefit of the people. Either the people are right or wrong. Why? Because they knew that they are wrong. That is why they entrusted you with that power. That is why they have entrusted you with their resources. And that is why they have entrusted you with their time. So, for example, you being a president is a greater responsibility, not because the people are good, but because they are entrusting you to make sure that you orchestrate things for the development of the people. Because they brought their collective power together to give you power. But as much as they've given you that power, it is important to execute projects and programs in their people. And if they are not doing that, they have the right, either they are wrong or right, to demand for accountability, irrespective of whatever it is. Because one, they're enjoying their money. That is why we say our president in Cuba, when they are moving, in fact, sometimes I get afraid. Why? Because the truck drivers will be on the street, and all of a sudden, when you hear the siren, they don't drive back. And sometimes even some of them end up crashing. Why? Because of the privilege of power that you're giving them. So, irrespective of whatever it is that the person is doing, either right or wrong, you, the person in power. So, for example, if you are an SRC president or whatever it is, you have that responsibility. You owe the people that responsibility to make sure that you initiate project and programs in their best interest. Either they are right or wrong. Either they come to school or not. Either they support you or not. You have to guide for them because you knew what leadership is before you entered. That is about service to the people and not to self. Are you good?
No, really. Yeah. Yeah. Can I have a mic?
I think I didn't get the complete answer that I'm expecting. So, as we are gathered here, seated here, I mean, if we are not able to clean our inner self, to be ready, to be expecting positive results from someone outside, maybe as you standing there, let's assume you are our leader. If we are here with empty minds and we are not ready to develop ourselves, to be prepared to be some people that they really deserve, how are you going to control us? How are you going to lead us, govern us?
So
with that mentality, the wrong mentality we have.
This is a huge topic for you, but we'll come to that much more later, probably after here, okay? But the line I'm trying to draw on this is the fact that, you see, we have two kinds of leadership. Individual leadership, like self-leadership, personal leadership, and we have social leadership, or public leadership. Okay? All these two are different in their roles and responsibilities. Individually, you have responsibility towards yourself. So if you know that you are going into a public leadership, you are going into a social leadership, and you are not ready to serve the people, irrespective of whatever their attitude is, then you must be ready to be in your private corner to deal with your individual leadership. Do you understand? So the very moment you decide today that you are going into a public leadership, into a social leadership, irrespective of whatever the attitude of the people are, you have to initiate projects and programs in their best interest. Notwithstanding, I'm not downplaying your point in the sense that individual, we don't have responsibility towards ourselves. I'm just trying to lay emphasis on the fact that anyone going into a public leadership or a social leadership must be ready to know that irrespective of the attitude of the individual or of the citizen, he or she must initiate projects and programs in the interest of the people. But as well, for us to collectively move forward, the individual in their personal leadership or individual leadership plan, they must take the interest of their own life into account by leading themselves very well, by managing themselves very well, by making sure that they discover their purpose, develop their potential, and deploy them accordingly, which make them responsible citizens. Okay, so I believe that should summarize that.
Thank you very much.
So,
thank you very much. So, I mean, for the sake of time, I want to get on to the next speaker. I mean, we'll get into all of this.
Yeah, in fact, I see they organized was the monthly solidarity still on. And so we can have what the anonymity. Thank you.
Okay, please let's just take a second. Personally, I think I am very much impacted. I mean, about behind Wisconsin, so I'm trying to tell the Wisconsin narrative about seeking answers to advocacy and all of that. I think there was somebody in this Wisconsin campus who decided that because of one or two things were not happening well, decided to work there for like 1 week. Okay? I mean, first day, you will not hear the result. Second day, no hear. Third day, no hear. I mean, but consistent. I mean, if you know that you are working barefooted, hanging things from you with a whole lot of education, right? I mean, you need to come. Please, tell him something. And yes, you will say that, oh, was it, or all that you were looking for, it didn't come to pass. That's a conversation for another day. But the fact that the authority realized that something is happening, and then when they call you into a meeting to discuss, okay, I think that is a good step and it's good for all of us. I mean, this stories happen in all our universities, all our campuses. I mean, every day, every time. Thank you very much. So at this point, we'll have our next speaker come in. But I think, aside the knowledge that we are taking home, it will be very bad that you go home without moving the person sitting closer to your next to you. So please do a very quick interaction. Please ask the people sitting around you, please ask of me to at least 2 days. I'll definitely come and ask that who is sitting by you. So please, just 2 minutes. Let's get to know ourselves. That's okay. I mean, it's an opportunity. Maybe you want to take some number and look, give you the opportunity. Go take the number. Okay. Oh, please, are we asking the minutes? Are we getting to know ourselves? I see some people still sitting in their seat. Please stand up at somebody. Then you'll be sitting for long. And somebody go to the next person. How are you? Mathematical sample and communication. That would be a good question. Yeah, my friend. How are you? What's your name? Now, please, from which investment? Which government study? Political science and philosophy. When I grew up, I used to come and ask more. So great. At least I'm going home with some students. I know get you. I know you have the University of Ghana, political science and mathematical science. Which powerful. Okay, so moving on to the next activity. Initially, I think he didn't want to do. Is it now? Okay, so please let's all receive our seat. I only hope this was helpful. It was a way to let us get to our evidence for the next presentation. So I want to have a one house before we move on to the next activity. So in 1, 2, 3. Good. Thank you all. And thank you for sitting down again for me. Please, we are invited with a hand of applause, Mr. Justice Kakuka. And he happens to be a former president, a former SIC president of the University of Professional Studies. I wonder when he had. Please, let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen. Please, am I audible enough? Yes. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. It's a pleasure to be here. I want us all to give a round of applause to BudgIT Ghana for this young people become in their environment. Nobody and the leaders are doing with their resources. Also to give them a platform to train them to be what? To be activists and to advocate for things that we need. I think it's a wonderful opportunity. All of you for making time to come here. It's not all of us, it's not all the students in this school have been here, but you have made time to be here because you are interested in advocacy and activism. So give a round of applause here. My name is Justice Kakuka. I'm the founder of an organization called Solution Oriented Youth Africa, Soy Africa to be precise. And we are focused on climate action and sanitation, leadership and entrepreneurship. And so I believe I'm called upon to actually take you through digital advocacy because of the advocacy they've seen us do online. And I will take the opportunity to walk you through what we have been doing and a little about digital advocacy so that we can all practice it wherever we find ourselves as we go. So we will skip to the next page. So we ask ourselves, like our first condition, advocacy. Advocacy is basically coming together and actually what's championing the cause that affects you as an individual and the society as a whole. So advocacy is basically talking about an issue that what you see that is a problem in your society and getting other young people to help you champion that cause. In our society, in Ghana, in Africa, in the world at large, there are several problems that we see. We are always complaining that the leadership that we need is not at the level that we want. But as young people, what are we doing to help to solve that problem? What are we doing to hold our leaders accountable? We say that we have not been given the platform to speak, but we have a very powerful tool, which is our phones, the internet, social media, which is available for us to be able to use to hold our leaders accountable. So today, that is what I'm going to walk us through. Our brother Christopher spoke to us about advocacy and activism, and I'm going to talk about the digital aspect. So I asked myself, who has a phone over here? Everybody here has a phone. Everybody here has a phone. I'm sure everybody here also is on the internet. And everybody has a social media account. We have Facebook accounts, we have we have Instagram accounts, we have X accounts, we have LinkedIn, we have several social media accounts. We even have our emails that we also use in sending messages to people. So basically, digital advocacy is basically actually advocating or championing the cause using what the internet or using what the online space, particularly as the social media has become predominant. People using social media for our advocacy. So you can use your email. You see that some organizations send us messages through our email.
Yeah.
They always send us marketing emails. They send us application and admissions for university through our emails. You can also use the email to advocate or champion for a cause. That's a digital form of advocacy. You can also use your social media, your Facebooks, your Twitter, your Instagram, social media, your social activities, and developing yourself. Anything you want to post there, you post there. You can also use it to champion the cause for the growth and development of our nation and the world at large. You can flip to the next page. So we have a number of social media platforms that I've also mentioned. But these are some of the digital, let me say, activism or advocacy that we've experienced over some period of time in these few years. We all remember that Black Lives Matter, when a black American was actually brutalized by a policeman in America. We also know about Fridays for Future. I don't know whether you know about it. Who knows about Greta Thunberg? I know some people will definitely know about her. When you mention climate change, this go well. She's the number one person to mention about climate change. So she formed the organization Fridays for Future. And what actually Fridays for Future is all about is an organization that is for championing climate change, because our planet is under attack because of human activities. The fourth is all the issue of climate change. And as young people, we have to make sure that we champion this cause to save our planet. And so that is the cause that she's championing. So she started with a school strike. So every day on Fridays, she doesn't go to school. She boycotts school with her friends. And they've done this for several years. And the social media aspect also kicked in. And so all of us, yes, we use social media to support this movement, to ensure that our leaders, our presidents, and our policy makers will actually champion initiatives that will help to save our environment. We all know about Fix the Country. I think it happened somewhere in 2021, where we realized that the things happening in our country, the way our leaders are managing our economy and the way things are going on in the country, they are not happy about it. We know Kali. I think Kali is the person who started the country movement online, and many others caught onto it. And we made our voice heard, but unfortunately, our government is still adamant. But I'm sure that it actually makes some impact. It makes some impact. And I want to thank all of you also joined in that movement, and your voices were heard. So the next one is that we reject the finance bill in Kenya, and that is the topical issue that all of us are talking about today. The young people, the Gen Zs, they call them the Gen Zs. Who is a Gen Z here? Who is a Gen Z here? Okay, so we ask ourselves, who is a Gen Z? So Gen Zs are people who were born in the late 90s. So let's say from 1997 towards 2010, they are Gen Zs. And some of us are also millennials who were born from the 1980s to 1995, 1997. They are also millennials. So based on my research, I realized that we also have Gen Alphas. Gen Alphas are the people who were born after 2010, and they are yet to now come into the social media space and dominate things in the next few years. So the Gen Zs in Kenya, they decided to use the social media to mobilize. They didn't have any leader, so that the government would arrest their leaders or negotiate with them so that they could stop their protests. And the Gen Z decided to use the digital space to advocate, to mobilize, and to make their government work, to make a change. And today, you can see the positive change that our young fellow colleagues in Kenya have made in their country. So today, we have the president collapsing his entire cabinet. He's sacked almost all his ministers. In what? He's dropped the finance bill, and almost everything that they asked for, their leaders have also done it. It shows that what? The digital space can be used for what? Something very, 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 very strong. Because if you are marching here on this campus, me at UPS, I'm not able to see you. Laborites will not be able to see you. So the physical aspect is very important. But the digital aspect has given us a brighter opportunity to be able to join in, even if we are at work, even if we are not at a physical location, to all support the cause of action. So these are some of the solve this particular problem. We can move to the next page. So there are some wonderful facts that I want you to know about. So it's actually important to note that we have about 5.44 billion people on the internet today. And you know our world, you know the population of the world today is about 8 billion people. And we have about 5.44 billion people on the internet. And we come to the social media. We have about 5.07 people on social media today. And in fact, some people even have more than 2 social media accounts. Some people have several social media accounts, which means that an activity that you can do here in Ghana that only the few people can actually see. When you put it on a digital platform, more people can see. The entire world can see. Which means that we have a huge opportunity online to make the whole world see anything that we are advocating about. So please, I want to encourage you. The digital platform is very, very important for you. Maybe in that circumstance, you don't even have to move a hand, you don't even have to march. The people who, when they are calling for demonstrations, they don't go. Please, you can use the social media to also support the cause. Another baffling statistic that I have here is that about 90% of 18-year-olds to 29-year-olds are on social media. About 82% of the middle-aged people are also on social media. Some of them inclusive are what? Our policy makers, our ministers, and our leaders. Then about 49 to 60, about 49-year-olds to 69-year-olds are also on social. About 69% of them, about 49 to 65-year-olds are also on social media. So our president, our vice president, our leaders are on social media, which means that anything we want addressed for us, the social media can help us get to them. Maybe you request to see him at his office, you are not given the opportunity. Social media has given you that platform to be able to use what? To reach that leader or that policy maker to solve our problems for us. So basically, digital media or social media, it helps us what? To connect to other youths in the country. I didn't know a lot of people who were in the anti-change space till I started sharing activities about Soy Africa online. Through that, a lot of young people who were also interested in the subject wanted to learn more, connected, and through that, we are doing what? We are doing social media advocacy. So Soy Africa also has a hashtag that we use. That is hashtag agenda sustainability. So we always share some climate change educational updates on all the social media platforms. And the hashtag we use is agenda sustainability. We want to leave the world a better place for the next generation. Because if that wasn't done for us, we wouldn't have met the world today. So that is what we are also doing. So our digital space or our social media platform, it helps us to be able to connect with other young people. And once we are able to share our messages and other people support it and it moves, it helps us build confidence and helps us to realize that our voice is being heard. The things that we are doing, the policy makers are hearing, and it energizes us because one important thing is when you see that your voice is being heard, when you see that the cause you are championing, everybody is supporting it, and policy makers are making a change. I'm sure the Gen Zs in Kenya today, even though they've lost some of their colleagues, they are so happy and they're so proud of themselves for what they have done. And I can see that all of us in Africa are proud of them. And the change they have made, they are even making some countries already start to make a change. So you see what they have done there, through the digital media, that has helped us to see what they're doing. It's even causing some changes in different parts of the world. So our digital space is very important for us. So now, I want to help us to walk us through some of the things we can do to have an effective digital online advocacy. So I think I missed out the topic. So the things we can do to have an effective online digital advocacy. So the first thing is that we can use hashtags or existing hashtags. So like I said, South Africa uses the hashtag agenda sustainability. Then there's also other hashtags that we always use, like the face of the country, there were several hashtags. What hashtags do is that once the first person uses the hashtag, any other person who also uses the hashtag, his messages like fall in line or like just it follows the first person who has used the hashtag. So once I start and 100 people follow, all of us are it's like all of us our messages become compiled. So when they see yours, they see mine, it continues. So it makes the work easy and it makes supporting the cause become simple. Because if just one person talks about an issue, maybe nobody will hear. But if somebody starts and use the hashtag, the next person also supports, say something different and use the same hashtag, and we are all sharing our point of view, it will be now what a lot of young people was helping or championing a particular cause. It will force our leaders, if they are listening leaders, to do something for us. So hashtags are very, very important. We call it hashtag activism. Hashtag activism. So if you are doing a digital advocacy, I advise you to use the hashtag. It will help to empower the way. The next thing I advise us to use is graphics, pictures, images, videos, and all of that. Pictures tell a lot. One picture can tell the entire story. Like the issue of the Black Lives Matter. When you saw the guy kneeling down, is it George Floyd? When you saw him kneel down, the way the policeman was treating him, that alone sank into our heart. And the whole world decided to do something about it. So pictures tell a lot. So if you have a picture, you can design a graphic, or you can take a picture of the situation. If our environment is so dirty, things are not going well, take a picture of it, post it, ask something. Sometimes you can even just post a picture. You see what other people add to it. So let us use graphics to when we are doing social media advocacy. A lot of times on Twitter, we like to just tweet. But we also have pictures on Twitter. So let's be using graphics to in addition to the text that we are using. So the next thing is sharing posts from existing advocacy organizations. So even though I'm in South Africa, when Fridays for Future have shared a post that is so important, I can also repost it or share it so that more people can see. So once you have a belief in a particular idea or you want change in a particular area, and you see other organizations or other young people who are also championing the same cause, you can reshare their activity. Once you reshare it, it will help the people in your space to also see what other people are doing about it. And it helps your work to be easy because it is said that one person can run fast, but more people can go far. So once you guys are sharing other people's posts, other people are sharing your posts, it makes the work easier and better. The next thing is to tag our elected officials or our policy makers. So if you are doing advocacy online, you are posting an issue about sanitation, and the sanitation minister is there, and we have our NMBs, the PAs there. People on social media look for their handle, tag them so that they can easily see the messages. Okay, anybody you think is relevant for that particular issue or that particular matter, tag that person. Because sometimes, because they are big people, they have a lot of things on their timeline, they can't see all the things. But once you tag them, they'll be able to see it because they are tagged. So immediately they open their social media, they realize that they have been tagged by someone, they can see it. So usually tag your people, tag your elected officials, so that you can see whatever you are posting, so that you can also act on it. The fifth and final thing is to curate your feed. So basically, on social media, you follow and like certain pages that you want. So if you are interested in climate change, make sure you follow as many climate change organizations as you like. If you are interested in actually the budget, the way the budget of Ghana is being applied, the way our resources are trying to develop, you follow budgets, follow all other organizations that are interested in that. Follow all people who are championing that cause. So that when you open your social media platform, you'll be seeing those kind of things on your timeline. Then you also commenting to it, and you also be making useful, you also be making useful impact on that particular space. So I would advise you to curate your feed. That is to carefully gather, choose, organize, and post your post to find people who are also passionate about what you are doing. So basically, these are the 5 things I want you guys to actually adopt for an effective social media or digital advocacy. So the first one I mentioned is what? To use existing hashtags. Use your hashtags a lot. Use your hashtags. Another thing I mentioned that you should actually share others' posts. You should also tag elected officials. And the last one I mentioned, the second one is to also create or use graphics. And the last one I mentioned is to create your feed. So one thing I want to caution us all about is that when we are doing our digital advocacy, we should not be to abuse other people. We should be in respect of other people's human rights. I'm a law student, so now let me enter the sphere of law. So your right or your freedom is you have your right and your freedom, but it's limited as it's not absolute. Your right and freedom ends where another person's right and freedom begins. Because I have my rights, you also have your rights. So I don't have to violate your rights. You also don't have to violate my rights. so we can speak to our policymakers respectively. And we shouldn't make posts that will actually raise sentiment, ethnic sentiment, religious sentiment, and things that will be like insults. Because once it comes in that manner, the people who are supposed to listen to it and work on it, they feel like you are criticizing or insulting them, so they don't actually work on it. And they should be respectful. And you should make your post also inclusive. Sometimes maybe a deaf person will be watching your post. That deaf person should be able to read it. Maybe that person cannot see, but that person, if it's a video, that person will be able to hear. Sometimes with their subtitles, if the person cannot hear, the person can see the subtitles. So make sure that your digital advocacy is inclusive and it's also respectful, so that anybody who sees it can see that this person is doing a good job and everybody will be happy with what you are doing to help. So I'll end by basically making a quote by Frederick Douglass. I don't know whether anybody here knows Frederick Douglass. Frederick Douglass was an American slave. So he was a young slave living in America, like our forefathers were living there. He was living with an American family. And the woman in the house was teaching Frederick Douglass how to learn English. And the people that were scared because the way the boy was learning the English, they realized that once this boy learns the English, they comment them. In fact, they didn't want the slaves to learn English at all. Because once they are able to learn English, they'll be able to start reading. And once they start reading, their knowledge will be growing and they will fight the slavery. But you know what this guy did? This guy was even giving bread, food, the food that is supposed to be, he came to the standard for himself and other people just to give him books to teach him to learn. Through that, he learned and became very, very intelligent. In fact, he's described as one of the greatest orators of all time. He spoke English better than most of the people who taught him. And you know what he did in his life? He helped and championed the cause to push for Abraham Lincoln to actually to abolish slavery. So he was one of the pioneers to push the American president Abraham Lincoln to advocate to ensure that slavery is abolished in Ghana. And he said what he said was that power consists nothing without the demand. It never did and it never will. Power, our leaders, they will never ever do the right thing that we want them to do until we demand it, until we advocate, until we push for them to be able to do for us. So please, your social media that you have, your phone that you have, your internet that you have, it's a powerful tool. It's a way to get your voice heard. So young people, let us all help. Let us all push. The problems we are seeing in our society, focus on one. If it's sanitation for you, if it's entrepreneurship, if it's creatives, anything you are passionate about, if it's women empowerment, if it's affirmative bill, anything you are passionate about and you think is supposed to be worked on, you can use your social media to push that cause to ensure that our voice is heard and our problems are solved. Thank you very much.
Appreciate this presentation, and I think all of us are like, this is a space we are all very familiar with. We all have accounts. When you were talking, I think we have more than in excess. I think you count. So please, we all have questions in this space. If you have a question, kindly put your hand up. I'll come to you. We take a question, we take a consent, we'll address them, and we take any space other question. Please, if you have a question, please put up your hand. Questions? Are we all okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. So, my question is, talking about digital advocacy, we know that for you to get to someone in this years, if I have two people following, and let's say I'm interested for the government to look at my finance or resources, like post something that they are taking government that will be helping. How many two people following? So, is it the hashtags you're talking about? Is it going to reach that audience that I want? Or I can have two followers, I still have about 1,000 people who are sending that
Okay, so please, you have another question. Let's question. The social media we are talking about. Okay, please.
So what I'll say is that consistency is is the name of the game. So the people who have built followers today, we started from that. And so what I'll say is that if you are giving something valuable as a business person, as a person on social media, whatever you are doing in your life, if you are giving something valuable, people will definitely buy from you. So if you are posting something that is valuable, always post it consistently, you will begin to get followers. And you also make sure that the area that you are posting about and you are focusing about gets involved in those spaces. So if you are focused on the budget of Ghana, how our leaders are using our finances to develop a state, make sure that you join an organization like BudgIT. Make sure that your school, if there's a finance team, you join it. Anything that is related to finance, be part of it. Take pictures. Oh, post on LinkedIn. I was here. I attended this program. This is what I learned. This is what I. So every day, posting something relevant. You begin to see people begin to tell you, I like your post. You're posting relevant stuff. You're doing this, you're doing that. The more you post, the more consistent you become. You realize that people will now begin to say, this guy is doing something relevant. By the time you realize that has made you a public person, or what they call a celebrity. So most of the people we see today, Mr. Ghana Baby, what's his name? Udemaya. He mentioned that he started about 5 years ago. That's not today. Let's we are seeing today 1 million followers. Not today. So you have to start from somewhere. Consistency. Like I said, consistency is the name of the game. With time, you begin to get followers. And by the time you realize, your voice has become so powerful. Okay.
Thank you very much. Please.
Yeah, but my biggest one that is one other people who said. So a lot of times following is different from the game. And you are doing advocacy within the game. So sometimes you see that someone has to be 1K viewers, but has to say something just as like they like and you want to you engagement, right? So just like the consistency is key. And then you add up like you said, the hashtag, it adds up to the conversation. So people get to see what they are seeing. It adds up to the conversation around it. So that alone makes it very, very visible. So and using the consistency and also some of these technical like the hashtag and other things get the conversation. So it doesn't really often matter the number of followers you have, but the kind of content that you post and how people will be interested.
Mr. Tadu, that was a very good presentation. My question is how related to social media. Yes, we know that the social media is a very powerful weapon in our time today. You agree with me that in our country or in our part of the world, the people are very partisan. Sometimes even a positive cause turn out to become a negative cause to someone based on their affiliation. How do I manage threats, condemnations, and criticisms, destructive criticisms that comes with some of these aspects, especially knowing that I'm a young man who is very interested in issues relating to law and politics. Maybe my hashtag may be in a way against a particular political association or party. And some of these foot soldiers of these parties may not take it, like limit me on the media space. How do I handle some of these criticisms with professionalism? Yeah, thank you.
I think that's a good question. Yes. It's unfortunate our part of the world that we are here in Ghana. Our country is sharply divided when it comes to the issue of politics. We are partisan people. Like I said, our fabric. A lot of people, it's like I was born the green color, I was born the blue color. It's like that is how it is. But we just have to be objective. Sometimes when you see a person who's pushing a partisan agenda, you see it's clear. When you see a person who is objective, you see it's clear. He is actually pushing the cause, whether it's red or whether it's blue, whether it's black. Your consistency is always there. It's different when you're a party person. For that, I know you're pushing your party. But I think we've gotten to a stage in our lives that if we want to see our country progress, we have to speak truth. If your party is even doing the wrong thing, you have to let them know. And it's so sad how our country has turned out today. today. So what I'm saying is that as young people, let them just be objective. Whatever course you are pushing online, whether it's party A or party B, it's the same course you are pushing. You are pushing for development of our country. So when party A is in power, what you are asking them to do, when party B is also in power, you are also asking them to do a particular thing. So it's not as if you are only active on social media when party A is in power, or you are only actively online supporting party B. Because all our parties or all our leaders have their own flaws when it comes to development. So when you are pushing, don't mention it in campaigns and all of that. You see them all as government. So you wouldn't say this government, this government. Let's talk and say you need that government to do this, you need government to do that, you need government to do this. Whether party A or party B, it's government. Once they are there, they are working for the people of Ghana. So I believe that once you are objective in that manner, everybody will begin to see beyond the context that people feel like, oh, this guy is this guy is that. So your consistency that will improve. When party A is in power, you are pushing for the same cause. When party B is in power, you are also pushing them to do and work for Ghana. I believe that is logic. That is why I admire so much. I don't know, maybe other people will have their point of view, but I so much adore the Arab team. I really like him because I see him as a role model for myself. He's very objective. He's very objective, always making sure that whoever is in power is actually pushing the right thing to be done. So, as young people, let us be objective. We want to see things done to us. Unless we're party-based, even that should be about the development of the nation, not about the party agenda. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So we are taking the second question.
Thank you. Mine is not a question, actually, just to add that quick. Think like my brother ran a Senate engagement thing and all that, and you just said it, you said it for back. The truth is, at a point in time, you have to play the devil's advocate. But the key point is you have to be very objective. It's in certain situation or whatever content you are sharing, at a point, if you don't have something, if you don't sparkle certain things, if you don't put certain strings, regardless, it will not go far. So you have to play the devil's advocacy, but make sure that you are very objective to whatever you are doing, and then you definitely get it settled. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. I wanted to simply ask, it is easier to say and to advise that most people should try to be objective when they are on this platform to express their point of view and something like that. But I was asked, how do one get to be objective and then stay objective when you are motivated by a certain level of self-interest? Thank you.
So you mentioned the word self-interest. So once there is self-interest, it means that what your principles will not be at the top. Right? Because we are supposed to have principles, and we know about the principle of integrity. So as a person, if you are a person of integrity, you know A is A, you know B is B. They say there is your truth, there is my truth, and there was the truth. So if you're a person of integrity, you know the truth is the truth. Like what some people are doing today, you know the truth is this, and you are saying it to life. The truth is the truth. So if you are mad with what self-interest, you definitely not say what is right, because what your integrity, the principle of integrity, has been pushed to the other side, and right now you have a conflict of interest because your interest is now at play. Your interest is fighting with your principle of integrity. So once self-interest comes, you can't be objective. So I beg you, if you want to be objective, please don't think about only yourself. Don't think about your self-interest. Think about what the greater good for the greatest number of people. Thank you.
Thank you. If there are any other questions after the session, we have it. Okay, so one last.
Hello, Mr. Justice. My name is Bernard. So I've noticed on a particular social media space that several advocates for a particular cause are being banned from using their platforms to promote their growth. And I've experienced one where I was permanently banned from using their platform. So in that case, what do we do?
Okay, so is it any of the social? Is it like Facebook has banned you? Twitter has banned you? It's banned you.
Yes.
And what we're talking about is it?
No, it wasn't nothing by that.
Okay, so please can you put us more so that we can address the issue?
I'll
What was it about?
No, I'll tell you later. But it wasn't something just by that at all.
Okay. So, okay, I don't know, but I think we have some IT aspects amongst us. I think there are some matters that maybe are not discussed online. Issues like pornography and some other issues, maybe racial discrimination, some matters, social media platforms do not allow it. But sometimes, maybe somebody reported it and they didn't do their investigations well and they banned you. So I think maybe that is an issue of the social media platform. Somebody reported it. They didn't do their things well and banned you. But I think that once what you are doing, you know that it's a positive cause. It's not a negative thing you are doing. I'll say that, like you said, like our speaker said, a lot of resistance. Don't let that resistance kill you. You have social media platforms. You have your Facebook, you have your WhatsApp, you have other social media. The one that you are banned from, you can use the other ones. Even today, some people have two social, even just Instagram, some people
Well, now
have
it's definitely banned. Like you can't access Facebook on that directly.
Yes. Okay. All right. So what we have to do is that maybe you can use the next social media platform. But I think after the program, I think I have to talk to you briefly so that you know exactly what you guys are talking about. I know when you guys manage the pool or something. I think I use the other social media platforms.
Thank you very much, Mr. Justice, and all the questions that came in. I think I just want. See, I must admit that I'm a communication student and digital communication, strategic communication. But this particular presentation, you don't find it in any of the posts. You might have attempted it, but we have not gone so much about how the hashtag adds to all the things that we do. So for me, it's like a lecture hall that I am in, and I hope it's for all of us also. But it should go a long way to impact all the things that we do. Please take it easy. Let's go. I mean, the excitement just, got to the top because our country is here in the house. Be with us here today. So please let's do it. Thank you for having us. Thank you to address us.
Hello, everyone. Hello, oh, sorry, thank you. Thank you all for making this to today's event. I think we've been, YPF, we've been wanting to have a win in Wisconsin for a while now. And so I'm really happy it's finally something to call in over here. And what am I supposed to say? Sorry, I couldn't come earlier. I was at the Marriott Hotel. The Ministry of Finance were giving us their mid-year report on the performance of the budgets that they gave us last year. It was approved early this year. So we wanted to also go back and give them our input because the budget planner is part of another organization called CSO Budget. And usually, before you see the budget out, we may have also gone to do our own lobbying and all that because there are certain things that has to show in the budget that has to benefit the youth, that has to benefit different aspects of the economy. So we saw some, we didn't see some. So when we went there today, that's the discussion. Why did we see this? Why didn't we see this? What was the use of this? Some of them were not really there, so we needed clarification. So from there, I just had to rush. I thought you guys would have maybe close, but I'm happy to be here. See all these beautiful faces. So, quickly, if you give me the mic, maybe I will see. We have a YouTube account where we normally post some of the videos we've done.
And then usually when we do a live event, we want to also have it on our YouTube so that in future those that couldn't join can still go back and then see the video. So since we are all here, how many of us have YouTube accounts? Awesome! Please project our YouTube name here. I just want some following. We don't have much followers on YouTube at all, at all, at all. I just want some following, please. And thank you so much, Justice. So did Justice introduce himself to you? He's an upcoming lawyer in the making. So please, before you leave, make sure you take his contact. It will be something very important to have in the future. So thank you, Justice. And Justice also belongs to as an organization called Youth Solution Youth Africa, Soy Africa. So I usually call it Soy Africa. So now I'm trying to get the name. So Soy is into climate change. And they are doing amazing work in climate change. I know today we have Saint Ghana. Yeah. Hi. So they are also into climate change. So Justice, someone that you need to meet is Saint. Yes, and I was with their boss on Wednesday. And whilst we were there, I kept thinking about you because they are doing so much in the climate change sector. I know you are also youth who are so interested in climate change as well. So it would be good to meet Mr. Ezekiel and then have those conversations with you. So, Nancy, what's happening? What is waiting for me? Because I'm waiting for you. Please just type budget. You know the name on the t-shirt that my fellows are wearing. Please come. Please come. Let me use your t-shirt. So, okay, we have it here. So on the pull-up, the name that you can see, the budget, just type that, and then budget with Ghana, space Ghana. That should be able to put you into WhatsApp, the YouTube platform. How many people are following you? Budget Ghana, it's one word. Oh, you guys are doing. Please start following. Okay. And then maybe by the end, I'll give one person a treat. We'll select who should have it. We'll select. All right, here's a treat, a very nice treat. So thank you all so much. Justice, you're on the floor, right? Or you are done? Okay. And now, why are you looking at me like that? Have I changed? If I'm looking beautiful, you can say it. I know.
Thank you very much. Please let's do it. Please, let's invite Mr. Ezekiel from Second Ghana to address us. Okay,
Thank you. So my name is Swan. I think that's my boss. So I'm not standing here. Okay, so he sent his vision to all of us, and myself, I'm very happy I'm talking about advocacy being just and ethical. I think that's one of the things that we also like our main focus is on signing and so the organization thing with the strategic youth network for development, we pride ourselves as being a youth-led organization where we find youth like me doing all the things that we can take. We also convene a platform for the youth in natural resource and environmental governance, which is broader and cut across from climate to water sanitation and hygiene and all that. But that's just how it's going to be a member of the platform. We are one of the coordinating committee where we help put everything together. So on that platform, we have individuals and organizations who are in the space and cut across climate action, wash and other areas, energy access and all that. we come together so that we'll be able to have one singular voice and be able to talk about some of these things. So, for instance, if there's anything about budgeting and all that, we all come together to ensure that we support it. As a platform, we have a group that is focused on technical work, and recently we did something on Ghana's emissions levy bill, and we did a position paper on that to state our position. So all ASAP that activities. Just recently, we've also established one on campaigns, and it's just full of campaigners and people who want to be activists. And so I feel that this is a great platform to implement that. But if you have interest in campaigning for social advocacy and for social causes, we can all come together and work together for your organization and any other person who is ready to ask for one social cause or the other. So that means I'd like to invite all of us to are interested in campaign the platform and campaign justice and you can add it to the platform. Thank you so much for having us and thank you.
Thank you very much. So please, you can see the social handle. This one Facebook, right? Budget Ghana. So if you are with your phones, kindly pick your phone. If you are not following, I want to see something like, I want to see the numbers going up. Please follow. And this for LinkedIn also. I mean, they say LinkedIn is for the professionals, but sometimes it's for me also, for you. So please, just follow now, not later. Please, you are doing it now. So if you're having your phones, you kindly pick it up. And then let's do that. We are wrapping up.
Thank you. Please, the Youth Participatory Forum also has platform, social media accounts on Twitter and LinkedIn and Instagram. When you go there, you just type Youth Participatory Forum and then you should pop up. So you can also follow those social media accounts as well. So we've taken your details through the registration and we're indulgent that you might be added to certain platforms or you might be sent certain material from the Youth Participation Forum or from BudgIT Ghana. We've indulgent that you see that that is the channel through which we got your details for that information and that is the purpose for which we are doing that. Thank you very much. So
thank you very much. So please do follow the YPF and also the BudgIT Ghana account now. So we are all wrapping up. We are inviting Joshua, my very own Joshua, to give us the word of time. Thank you very much.
First and foremost, I'd like to thank God as the saying goes, back with the Moses and God. Secondly, I'd like to, my deepest gratitude goes to our esteemed speakers. We're very, very wonderful. It's gained a lot of very, very important Islamic and to organizers, especially Mohammed, we're very, very grateful. Thank you for giving the youth and ourselves a keynote platform like this where we can grow, impact, and influence and have our voices heard. The support has enabled us to bring together this diverse group and provide a platform for meaningful discussions and connections. Your belief in us is very, very appreciated. Thank you. We are very grateful. As we have to conclude, I encourage institutions to reach out to people, socialize, this platform for you can network, gain connections, improve on existing connections. You never know who you meet. value where. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much to me for today. I mean, I always tell you that it is not ending. Always keep the conversation going. I mean, we are with our phone 24/7. I can stay without food for some time, but I can't stay without food. It's just one time. So let's keep connecting on social media. I mean, let's keep communicating. Let's keep having the conversation. Let's keep learning from each other. And then I think we'll all leave this world a better place. So if we have some question about that, I will actually do that.
Okay. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming today and making today's discussion very productive and successful. I'd like to personally thank Mr. Christopher Penny, who, when I contacted, was in a different part of the country, but had to cut his trip short and hasten to Accra so that he could be here today. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for your presentation. I also like to thank Mr. Justice Gajuga, who has always been so helpful and supportive of the YPF since the launch of this initiative. Thank you very much, sir, for being here. And thank you for the insightful presentation as well. Thank you, everyone. And at this point, everything has been done. So I would like you to kindly move to the back. Mr. Asante, please, we come here to the back. Okay. So I'll ask us to kindly go to the back and let's take a group picture. We'll take a couple of other photos and then have the question. The day is ended. So before we all move, let us pray. So our Heavenly Father, we thank you for such a wonderful program. Thank you for the productive contributions and discussions, the knowledge shared with us. And thank you for the opportunities that we learn to be more representative of our communities and our country. We pray that this initiative is going to give us the favor and the abilities and capacities to expand not only for ourselves as young people, but for our communities, our country, and then possibly for our Thank you. In Jesus' name. Amen. So please let's move to the back. Thank you very much.
See you later. Keep on. What's your name?
Nana Santiago, Squid. Squid.